My Aunt Hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on Fly Nubian Queen TV.com, the network for melanated women. And we know our brothers are holding us down too, just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome into our podcast today. We're so pleased that you are with us today. Shout out Chili Willie and Jaron, Jaron and Ridge, B1, and others that are in the Black Digital Building, Brother Danubia. We're so pleased that you're with us. Shout out to my Instagram family. Some chick named Star, that's my girl. Mwah. Kisses to my some chick named Star, who's such a blessing. And Ray, and I am Ramadan, and Virginia, and James, and Abdul, and others, Kels that's in the digital building. Welcome, welcome. I mend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Come on in for a brief podcast. I'm gonna do my best to stick to that because, believe it or not, I have something else I'm supposed to be doing here in a minute, shortly rather. But I want to talk about this another element of the George Floyd situation that I mentioned to you on yesterday. I want us to explore that. You do understand that there are many moving parts to this, but very briefly, as you come in, a little bit of housekeeping before we go there. As you come in, please come in giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. When you do that, you help to draw other folk into the podcast. And we thank you so much for helping to elevate the voice of Black media. We're so grateful for you doing that today. Not only that, beloved, text the word Queens, if you would, to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, we have a store and we have a school that helps you build your side hustle or help you start a business. That's at flynubianbusiness.com. Flynubianbusiness.com is the school. And the store is shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Now let's get ready to get into it without further delay. And again, like I said, I'm going to do my best to make this nice and sweet for us today, Black family. Watch this. So we understand that we are still in a holy season. Is that right, family? We are still in a holy season. Somebody say holy. Somebody say holy. Holy is related to religious and spiritual things, metaphysical things. That's us. You understand that we're the direct descendants of God, the Black man and the Black woman. If you understand that, you understand that it is not blasphemous to use the term that we are in a holy season. Anytime the old world of Satan, based on lies, killing, stealing, and destroying, is headed out, Lord have mercy, y'all play too much. Anytime the old world of racism and white supremacy is headed out, and anytime a new world is coming in, birthing a new world, the pain that Black folks are experiencing, we're experiencing some labor pains right now. But when we're experiencing the labor pains, beloved, it's because we're getting ready to birth a new world based on freedom, justice, and equality. Somebody say that's holy. Holy means set apart. Holy means a cut above the rest. Somebody say this is holy. A new kingdom is on the horizon. This is holy. Don't get so deep and spiritual and so disconnected from your God and spiritual principles that you become no earthly good. What is the old saying? You become so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. Your spirituality is only as good as its manifestation in this realm that you're on. The planet is a manifestation realm. Somebody talk Black to me. So we're in a holy season. Let me get on with the get on. Somebody talk Black to me. So one element, keep that in mind, that while we are still dealing with this changing of the gods, there's going to be difficulty, there's going to be turbulence. Because the old powers that should have never been, Lord have mercy, They're not going to give you a high five while you come take over. Lord have mercy. They're not going to give you a high five, an Addy boy, a pat on the back, a hug, and some sugar. That's what we call it in Mississippi. You're not getting no hugs and sugars. Shout out to you, Sonia, for your gift. Love listening to you, my daily mojo. Oh, bless you. And thank you for your kind words. I bless your gift, the first to sow into Black media today, 1,000-fold. Listen. So you must keep that in mind. So stop playing. Y'all running out of here talking about, I don't understand why they're acting like this. We're just like you. Let's find some common ground. If you don't go sit your funny looking self down, you playing with the devil. Now, Vicki, now that I've said that, because I don't want you to ever forget the holy season that we're in. Now that I've said that, I want you to consider that Black folk are fighting on multiple fronts. Is that right? Black folk are fighting on multiple fronts. One such front that we are fighting on pertains to business. I heard Minister Farrakhan say something years ago, and that is this. I want you to keep this principle in mind as I get ready to get into this. Business is warfare. Shout out to you, James, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Talk Black to me all day, every day, Queen. Be one, beloved. Thank you. Listen, business is warfare, which leads me to our brother, George Floyd. You may be saying, well, what do you mean, Vicki? What does business have to do with the death of our brother? I thought that our whole and sole focus was on the militarized police, these white race soldiers primarily that was responsible for our brother's death, this white supremacist system. I thought that this was all their fault. Watch this. But beloved, like I mentioned yesterday, what instigated this whole thing in the first place? I need somebody Black to talk Black to me. I said, what instigated this encounter with our brother in the first place? Where was he located? What was the allegation, Black family? It took place, you got it, at a store. Yes, a store clerk called, but the store clerk called because it was the business's protocol and procedure for her to call the police. And I just want to throw out a few tidbits because I don't want you to ever misunderstand how war is really done. Watch this. His name is Mahmoud Abu Mayale. I pray that all of that Mississippi didn't totally mess up some of that something talk Black today. But because I'm the mother of civilization, this is your name today. Somebody talk Black to me. However I said that. You can find those diacritical marks in the dictionary. Lord have mercy. For Mahmoud Abu Mayale. I'm not trying to make fun of his name. I'm just saying today, I'm your mama. So this your name. This your name today. This your name. This your name. Watch this. So he also apparently goes by Mike. And this store where this encounter took place is now owned by this fellow named Mike, along with 3 of his brothers. But the store has been in business now, I believe it's 31 years, where their father came into the community, where it's primarily Black and And as they say, other people of color. Notice what I said, black and people of color. Somebody talk black to me. One of the owners, Mike, who I'm referring to now, has come out talking about how from now on, his store's policy is not going to, no longer they're going to follow their policy where they're going to call the police in case there is an issue, specifically, I guess, pertaining to a counterfeit bill or something. Well, let me tell you something. And I want my brothers and sisters from around the world, especially immigrant families that come to this country, to understand. Let me tell you something. I love all of my brothers and sisters around the world. Nobody is intentionally being hostile towards you. But the issue is you today. And I want you to listen to me. You desire, many of you, to come to the United States to experience what you call the American dream, right? But you all cannot be ignorant of America's very real history of 465 years of slavery and how America became the most powerful nation on the planet and the richest. It's not because of her white pedophilic slave-owning murderers' brilliance. My God. It wasn't because of George Washington's prowess. They didn't have it like that. They came and snatched up builders. Lord, have mercy. We did what they were never able to do. And so you understand that this country is said to thrive. It was able to thrive. It became rich and powerful because of who? Family, who, and who? While you answer that question, come on over Instagram to flynubianqueentv.com. I'm not going to be on long for sure today, Instagram. By the way, family, follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. So come on Instagram to flynubianqueentv.com, would you? Thank you so much. I'm getting ready to get into this thing. So, family, did you all hear me? Did you all hear that? Lord, have mercy. So, when you come from all over the world, seeking to live and experience the American dream, you understand you are experiencing a dream. I say it often, I'm going to keep saying it, based on a nightmare. You're coming here to experience an American dream based on a black nightmare. You understand that. And many of you are quite all right with that reality. And I'm not saying that I'm 100% mad at you. The issue I have, please, I'm telling you something profound. This is not to beat up on my brothers and sisters around the world. I'm trying to help you. The problem that I have with some of you that come to America to experience the American dream based on our black nightmare is because you come here as a collaborator to white supremacy. I need somebody black to talk black to me. Shout out to whoever's giving, let your gifts be blessed 1,000-fold. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? The problem that I have with those of you that come to the country it's not because you mean well, you want a better life, you are fleeing persecution. The problem I have with some of you is that you come here and you act as white supremacist collaborators. Some do it knowingly, some do it unknowingly. Let me tell you something. Many of you that are allowed entry into this country are considered to be the most intelligent in your countries because the United States picks and chooses. Some of you are all the doctors and engineers. Somebody talk black to me. Shout out to you, Robert. Some of you are considered to be the best in your society. Why am I mentioning that? Because I'm saying you can't be that stupid not to know what you're getting into to a certain degree. Are y'all hearing me today? And so because, Lord have mercy, you guys, many of you know what you're getting into, and you choose to pretend like you're blind and you don't see it. You become a collaborator to white supremacy. And some of you don't just do it silently in terms of, I should say orally. You manifest it through your actions. I'm going to break it down in just a minute. But some of you have the nerve to not just act like you don't see the hell that we go through. Many of you stay silent, but some of you manifest your funny looking self on mainstream white news outlets. Some of you manifest your thirsty selves, your Samboing and bedwenching selves. And you know I don't use that word often. But some of you manifest yourselves like that on social media, sucking up loudly to white supremacy. And then you shake your little finger, your foreign little finger in our face and try to tell us what we're not doing right. And tell us if we would just do this, we would be as successful as you. And tell us that white supremacy and racism in America is not as bad as we think it is. And tell us that we really haven't been through anything. That's the problem. Try not to scream today, Vicki. That's the problem that I have with some of you, beloved. Somebody talk black to me. Because white supremacy, the reason they intentionally pick you, and some of you look like us, the reason they select you, some of you, to come into this country is because they know that in some spaces and places they can use you to make it appear that black folk are improving and coming up. And knowing full well that you're going to keep your mouth shut when it comes down to black revolution and issues of justice concerning black folk. They know that you are a most effective tool. So I want you guys to know that this is a problem that I have with you. Keeping that in mind, let's talk more about Mahmoud Abu Mayale, who also goes by Mike, one of the owners of the Cup Store. Watch this. One of the owners of the Cup Store. I want you to listen very carefully to something that he said in an interview. I'm going to let you listen to a couple of different clips. I'm going to give you some analysis, and then I'm going to connect the dots in just a moment. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, let's get ready to get into this today. So here's the fella that we are specifically talking about. And don't forget now, this is a family business of theirs. I think his father has passed away now, but he owns this store now with three of his brothers. This is Mahmoud right here. This is Mike. He goes by Mike. They've owned this store, y'all, for 31 years. His family. Watch this. In a neighborhood that has a whole lot of who in it? in a neighborhood that has a whole lot of who in it, Black family? Us. Their 31-year-old store has been thriving for many decades because of who, family? Because of whose black dollars or whose dollars? I just told you the answer. Because of whose dollars, family? Shout out to you, Brick, for your gift, says Teach, says thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Listen, I want you to listen to a brief clip here of them inside the store, remembering what I just said. Business is warfare. I'm cueing it right now.
Ground zero for the nation.
As I do that, keep giving us a thumbs up, 1,200 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. Keep giving us a thumbs up, liking and sharing, family. 1,300 of you. Thank you that you're present today.
Amber Cagliano takes you inside the store.
Watch this.
It's your first look inside the store where George Floyd.
Okay, I'm fixing to get the sound up. Just a second, family. I want to get just to the.
This is the cash register where Mr. Floyd spent some of his last moments. This is.
Okay, I'm not sure how that went down like that.
Ground zero for the nationwide. It's your first look.
This is the cash register where Mr. Floyd spent some of his last moments. This is how he would have exited the store. Out of these two doors and then into the streets.
Inside Edition spoke to the store owner, Mahmoud Abu Mayale, and his spokesman, Jamar Nelson. They say the clerk working that day was inexperienced and called police after Floyd left the store when this money counting machine flagged a $20 bill Floyd used to buy a pack of cigarettes as potentially counterfeit.
Now let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. I'm 41 years of age. So 20 years ago or so, I worked in banking for a few years. And I started out there as a teller. I dealt with money years ago. Now, I don't know what these funny looking dollars, they always switching it up now and stuff like that. But you got used to dealing with money. And we did end up having a machine, but for a long time, the bank that I worked at, it didn't have a machine. I was the machine. Somebody talk back to me. You the machine. I'm the machine. And so we had large customers, big corporations that were our customers, who took in large amounts of cash that I had to count. I wasn't a mortgage person. I didn't do new accounts and stuff like that. I just dealt with the cash. I'm going to say cash. I received that position. So I'm going to say cash. Listen. So that's, like I said, this many, many years ago when I worked there for a few years. Family. When we would flag a counterfeit bill or something like that, number one, I've caught a few, just me counting some of the fast food restaurants that did business with us. I could tell that they accepted a counterfeit bill right there. We ended up doing what we needed to do internally in terms of the bank, but it wasn't no let's call the popos or do any of that kind of stuff. And for crying out loud, I was working at a bank that's FDIC regulated. Somebody talk black to me. Now, what's funny about what you just heard there now is they said that that the cashier was counting some 20s in the machine, the counting machine, and said that the fake bill was given to them by George Floyd. Black family. George Floyd only used one bill. Somebody talk black. Somebody say hashtag let my people think. George Floyd used a bill, a $20 bill. And of course, we don't even know if it was fake or not. And we don't even know if he actually knew if it was fake. We're not sure that he actually knew it was fake because lots of people may be possessing a counterfeit bill and don't even know it. Watch this. But if he only used one bill, you don't use a counting machine to count one $20 bill. So the question is, how was the cashier able out of a chunk of money that the machine is counting? How were you able to catch? How did you know of all of the bills that the machine was counting, that particular $20 bill that you just heard them say that the machine caught as fake? How did you know that was the one that George Floyd gave you in the midst of all them other bills? I need somebody black and intelligent. Hashtag big black brain.
Are a lot more common than you may think. The Secret Service, which is tasked with investigating counterfeit currency, estimates there's tens of millions of bogus bills floating around in circulation, making Floyd's death all the more tragic. Counterfeit experts we've spoken to say it's very possible Floyd may have never even known the bill he handed over was a fake.
Let's say we're going to say we don't believe our brother knew that if it was true, if that is true. Shout out to you, Stuart, for your gift, Queen. I bless it 1,000-fold. If all of this ain't a lie in the first place, if it was a counterfeit bill, we're going to err on the side that he did not know it was a counterfeit bill. You know why, black family? You know one of the main reasons why we're not going to believe that our brother intentionally came in there to give them a fake counterfeit bill? Because he was still hanging outside by his car for a bit. Somebody say the devil is a liar. Somebody say the devil is a liar.
If it was a counterfeit, so far, police aren't saying because it's an active investigation. Sean Trundy is the chief operating officer at Fraud Fighter, an LA-based company that sells high...
Now, I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to this. The main reason I want you to hear this. He's going to make a point here in just a second. 1,500 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. We're so pleased that you're with us. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I might go a little early some days of the week, like at 3:30 Eastern. But most times I'm here at 6:30. But either way, just make sure that you check back on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com to see if I've gone live. By the way, my show is aired on several other platforms. So if you're watching me elsewhere, welcome to the Vicki Show. Please like, please share. And we want you to subscribe and follow us wherever in the world you may be watching us on.
Counterfeit detectors.
Listen.
The quality of counterfeit.
Now I want to say this to you because I'm getting this. I want to cue this to a next part because I got another clip from another interview that I want you to listen to here in just a moment. Shout out to you, DB.
George Floyd was a regular customer.
Now listen, this is what I wanted you to hear.
At least once a week.
This is what I don't know. I don't know why we're not talking about this a lot. Y'all know Vicki got to break it down. I just do what I do. I don't have, Brian Gumbles. Does he exist now? Brian Gumble? He don't have no show. Oh, God. Who's that black man that has the show on CBS, ABC? What's the black man? Lester. Name some more people with them shows on mainstream white media. While I cue this. Name some of them people out there like that, y'all, who got little shows and stuff. On white people's networks and stuff. Yes. Don Lemon. Some other people. Lester Holt. Thank you. Thank you, Dewar. Help me. Lester Holt. Who else? Y'all said Al Roker. Not Al Roker. They don't have to just be black family. You can list some white people too. Especially white people. My point is, your sister doesn't have a staff like that that has a bunch of producers and people that help me with my hair and makeup and it gives me ideas and stuff like that for the show, and then turn around and get all the articles and help me put all the pieces together and get on the phone and contact interviews and stuff. That's why family, I can't do a whole lot of interviews, stuff like that too. And with my health and stuff, I try to keep things as minimal as possible while I'm in this particular season. So your sister I'm doing my best to connect the dots for you, black family. Are y'all hearing me? Somebody talk black to me. So I went to several different interviews, read several different articles, and I'm getting ready to play you a clip of another interview that I read, but I want you to listen to this little tip that I don't know why we're not talking more about until now.
I cannot really discern whether or not it's fake or real just by looking at it.
George Floyd was a regular customer coming into the store at least once a week.
Did you hear that? Vicki, put your hand. Okay. Thumbs up, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, because I'm getting ready to go in on this. I need y'all to help me with this. We're going to think through this together. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please hit that notification bell, by the way, family. I see y'all, a couple of y'all doing thumbs up, 1,600 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. We're typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I go a little early, but I'm usually here weekdays. So make sure that you check Fly Nubian Queen TV every day so that you don't miss an episode. Make sure that you're liking and that you're sharing. Did you all hear what I just said? Did you all just hear what I just said? Did you hear what they said? See, this is why it's important to pay attention to what they say when stuff first comes out, when they're starting to hear from interviews and people on the street before somebody else can get to them to get them to change their story or to tell them to hush. Do you understand? That's why it's important. That's why I don't listen to just one interview a lot of times. Why? Because you don't know what other little tidbits you might be able to pick up elsewhere. Keep listening. Listen to it one more time because I'm scared you might have missed it. I'm scared.
Knows George. I've known to be extremely friendly, kind.
At least once a week.
Everyone knows George. I've known to.
Or at least once a week.
Real just by looking at it.
George Floyd was a regular customer coming into the store at least once a week.
Everyone knows George. I've known to be extremely friendly, kind, caring, very jovial all the time.
The owner says he wants the world to know he's heartbroken.
You call the police on someone that you just said everybody knows. He comes in there. He's a regular customer. He comes in there once a week. Even if the person that called on him, the clerk, was new. You're telling me that nobody around understood or knew that the clerk was getting ready to call the police. And even if they did, somebody told black to me. Like family, too often we are rewarded for our faithfulness. We are rewarded for being so good to people by them being evil in return. We show them kindness and they show evil to us. We show them respect. How did he show respect, Vicki? The fact that he was spending his black dollars there. And the fact that Mahmoud Abu Mayale gets to say that the family's business has been there 31 years. In another interview, Mahmoud said that's the only job he's ever had. And now as an owner, that's all he's ever known. Talking about how great the community has been for them and that's how they've always had his back. I bet you they did. But that was the policy. Some of y'all might be saying, well, Vicki, he didn't know because he wasn't there. If he was there, it would have been different. Let me ask you a question. Why would it have been different? One of his family members, who was a nephew, was also in the store that day. Allegedly, that's the one that went outside to also try to get the police to stop trying to murder our brother. But allegedly, they pushed him off. That ain't all. That's not all, family.
About what happened inside his store. He says had he been there, the cops would never have been called.
But I thought it was your policy that the cops are called when someone brings a counterfeit bill. Y'all, come on now, catch the game. Well, Vicki, give me something else. Y'all catch the game. Please catch the game. Listen to this. Excerpt from a Fox News 9 clip
Convenience store
that I want to
George
give you some analysis on.
They are hurting as well.
Tonight, we're learning more about that store.
I'm going to turn it up here in just a moment, family. Make sure that you don't forget to text Queens to 31996.
Never seen anything like it.
Outside his store window, a neighborhood he knows well, but pain like he's never seen before. Mahmoud Abu Mayale is the owner of Cup Foods, a Palestinian who's been on this corner for 31 years.
He's a what family? He's a what family? He's a Palestinian. We don't hate on because we know it's a lot of black-skinned Palestinians. You all do know that a lot of stuff that's going over there in Palestine, they don't show you a lot of the black faces and a lot of the original people of the planet that's over there in Palestine. But we also know that there are some white Palestinians over there that's giving hell, that we often see, on television and stuff, that the Israelis are giving a lot of hell to, right? What's going on in Palestine, family? I don't know the exact stories of his father. We do know that his father initially owned the store, right? And clearly handed it down to his sons. What's going on in Palestine before you came to America? I need somebody black. I know there's a lot of intelligent black people in the digital building on the Vicki show today. What's going on in Palestine today? What was going on in Palestine for the last several decades? You came to America to build your American dream based on our American nightmare. What else did he say, Vicki, that was of concern to you? Because see, sometimes people can collaborate knowingly and unknowingly. I'm going to err on the side of 85% of the time y'all are doing it knowingly. But for those of the 15% of you that may not be, I'm getting ready to give you some game. Listen. Hold on, let me recue it.
Been in this community as an insider, not an outsider.
It was in Cup Foods that George Floyd...
Notice the language. He said, I've been in this community. We've been in this community, not as an outsider, but as an insider. Why do you think that was important that he say that on the news, that we're here as an insider? I need my intelligent black people to talk to me. Y'all know I got to go in a few minutes. So please talk black to me. 1,700 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. He knew what to use because he knows that black folk, we've been lifting our voice talking about the what? The bloodsuckers of the poor, the bloodsuckers of black folks that's been coming in, ravaging our communities, disrespecting us, making money off of us, and collaborating with white supremacy. So notice he specifically used the language that we came here as insiders. He wants you to know, he understands that most of y'all come here to exploit us. And I'm not convinced, bro, that you still on a bloodsucker because you're being kind now. Why? Because the weight is on you. Apparently some folks did some damage to your store. They're starting to give you some work there. And you are trying to get the pressure off of you and you feel bad now. Somebody talk black to me. Carol said, thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, beloved. Thank you. Thank all of you all that are supporting Black media. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Don't forget we have a store at flynubianbusiness.com. I'm telling you, I'm giving you actionable things that you can do whenever I'm talking about flynubianbusiness.com. Fly Nubian Business, Black family, is a way for you to connect with Black folks that's doing business right now so they can teach you insider information to hustle so that you can have an establishment for 31 years and you don't continuously give all your money to the bloodsuckers of Black people. Somebody talk black to me. I unabashedly promote flynubianbusiness.com and the blackbusinessschool.com. You cannot afford to rely 100% in terms of your income on your open enemy. They control you like that.
Allegedly tried to pass a phony 20. The clerk calling 911. No big deal. Happens all the time. They've had...
Happens all the time. They said no big deal. Happens all the time. Listen.
258 police calls here in just the last couple of years.
Do you all understand now why I have a problem with the store owner of Cup Foods? The person the place rather, who initiated the murder of our brother knowingly or unknowingly. Did you all hear that? How many encounters did they say they had with the police? How many times rather did they say that his store called the police in just 2 years? Y'all didn't hear that. I'm afraid you might have missed it. Listen again.
Calling 911. No big deal. Happens all the time. They've had 258 police calls here in just the last couple of years.
Somebody put 258 in the comment section. God, today. Somebody put, that's from another clip that I told you. That was from a Fox clip. Somebody put 258 in the chat. In a couple of years, that's how many times his store has called the police. This Palestinian store owner, who very likely whose family fled here to experience the American dream and to get away from the Jim Crow apartheid that they've been enduring. You come here and you buddy with the police. Vicki, how you know that he was with like buddy with the police? Well, he said it on another interview I watched. Somebody talk black to me. He discussed basically the wonderful relationship that he had with the police. He discussed how he knew so many of them as well on CNN.
To the conclusion that it's to the best interest of our staff and patrons that unless there's a violent crime taking place, the authorities should not be called and will continue to police their own matters.
What does that say that you feel that this has to that you can't trust the police unless you're talking about someone being physically threatened or injured?
So the reporter says, what do you mean? How does this make you feel? You can't trust the police now.
Well, I do trust some of the police officers in our city because I deal with them firsthand and I have a good relationship with them.
I do trust some of the police. I deal with them. What did he say? What did he say after he said that, family? He said, I deal with them firsthand. Business is warfare. You decided that you would use your establishment to give the police something to do after calling the police 258 times within 2 years just to the store.
About the 4 officers that were involved in the tragedy that have yet to take accountability to what took place.
Okay.
And I have a good relationship. Well, I do trust some of the police officers in our city because I deal with them firsthand and I have a good relationship with them.
Dear brother, who's from Palestine, and we don't diss anybody from there because we know that some of the Palestinians there, especially the black skin ones, they're really going through hell. They're going through apartheid. They're going through discrimination. In fact, some of what they're dealing with specifically, I just wanted to remind you of some of what they've been dealing with and are dealing with still in Palestine. And I just pulled up something here from the Guardian newspaper earlier in preparation to this. And the author of this particular thing was talking about Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, and obviously some of their policies against the Palestinians. And I was reading through, as I was reading through this article, I want you to keep in mind, this is what's happening there. It says how Israel's repression of Palestinian citizens, African refugees, and Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza has become more brutal over time. Ethnic cleansing land seizure, home demolition, military occupation. Somebody please put military occupation in the chat. Somebody please put military occupation in the chat. Ring a bell? Ring a bell? Bombing of Gaza and international law violations led Archbishop Tutu to declare that the treatment of the Palestinians reminded him of apartheid, only worse. And so, because you get to come up on us, you get to eat off of us, and we pay you to do it. We supported your businesses to where now you can say you have a successful business that you and your 3 brothers own, that before you, your father owned. Your business thrives because of Black folk. But it was your regular policy to call the police, notwithstanding the large Black population that lived in the area and that support your business. I'm trying to say that the way he does business is by incorporating the law enforcement arm of white supremacy. That military occupation, that is the police. That's a problem. That's a problem when you normalize your interaction with your customers. We know now, we understand that they alleged that the cashier was inexperienced. But one thing that cashier knew was the policy. Wow, somebody talk Black to me. That cashier was not so inexperienced not to know that they were given very apparently, ostensibly, strict and direct instruction. Did you all hear what I just said? The problem is that that's not normal. 258 times the police were called in just 2 years for that store alone. Understand how they see you. And then later in another interview, Mahmoud got mad and tried to tell Black folks that were protesting and some that might have been looting, basically, don't blame me. I'm not the one that killed him. The police did. And he talked about how he's against them looting. Let me tell your funny looking self something. He's been getting some backlash, not just from looters, but folks in that neighborhood that apparently know them very well. He talks about how they have a lot of people that are patrons and that support them. But some of the folks that probably use language like bloodsuckers pertaining to him and his family, somebody talk Black to me. That's some of the pushback he's been getting from people that know them. Somebody say, believe Black people. So if some of the people that know y'all best, that's been in the area 30-some years, and they're calling you bloodsuckers in so many words, they're saying to you that you're coming in, you're acting like an outsider, I believe them. The way you operate speaks volumes. Why is business warfare, Vicki? 1,800 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. Please make sure every single one of you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit all notifications because there are other queens that have content on this network. So I want you to make sure that you receive a notification when they send the notifications so that you can receive their content too. And don't forget, family, to thumbs up, like, and share. Listen, And by the way, again, those that's watching me on other platforms, please like and subscribe and follow wherever you're watching me on now. Thank you so very much. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. 1,900 plus of you in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Listen, why is business warfare, family? I'm going to give you two main reasons. Are y'all ready for this? I'm going to give it to you in a very simplistic and digestible form. It's not going to be difficult, and I don't want you to forget it. Specific to Black people. Why is business warfare? Let me ask you something. Why were we brought to America in the first place? Thank you, Joseph. You all are so kind with your compliments. I don't ignore you, but you just make me blush, and I'm just overwhelmed. So thank you all so much for your kind compliments and words. But answer my question. Why were we brought here in the first place? Shout out Silent D Production. Somebody talk Black to me. Why were we brought here in the first place? I'm trying to give you the answer. Remember, my question was what? Why is business warfare? And then I'm trying to help you get the answer with another question. Then I asked you what? Why were we brought here in the first place? It had to do with economics. Being an enslaved people, being considered a slave, was about making America rich. It was about building what America even called at one time, that great city on the hill. It was about making a new promised land. It was free labor. It was economics. In the first place, that should be a hit for us, Black family, that business is warfare because it's why we were brought here in the first place. Business is warfare because it's the reason why they refuse to give us reparations. It's why Joe Biden, according to I think it's Washington's Time, a news excerpt that I read, was it yesterday? I saw it on social media and I read a couple of the paragraphs in there because it was a real short article. I believe it's Washington Times. Joe Biden is sitting there talking about he's considering reparations a study or something, but it needs to include Native Americans. Fool, first of all, when y'all do the research, do you guys know that they're finding that many of the original Native Americans, the Aboriginal people, those that were originally over here, many of them were black-skinned people too? But nevertheless, do you see how they don't want us to come up? They want everybody else to continue to eat off of us and to be included in that? Simone Sanders, somebody send Simone this link. Somebody send Kareem Jean-Pierre this link. Those are two black so-called senior advisors. One of them really is a linebacker in security. I don't know why they call it senior advisor. The girl linebacked that anti-dairy protest. Don't lie to me. Somebody send them this link. If they have access to Joe Biden, tell them to let Joe Biden know. Cut the check just for foundational Black Americans, just for the descendants of American slaves. We're not tripping on the other people that have experienced injustice by the hand of America, but we're trying to get ours. What you guys haven't done right for 500 years. We also know that Dr. Claude Anderson has given us specifics where some of the Native Americans, that's now called Indians, the red-skinned folk, not necessarily the Aboriginal black-skinned natives, but Dr. Claude Anderson lets us know, and Dr. Boyce interviews him practically weekly, where he gives us historical context. And of course, I have, I've shared excerpts from his books with you guys here on my show as well. And I want you to also support Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm sure my moderator will probably have one of his links in the chat. He told us that some of the Indians actually helped to enslave us, and they worked with white supremacists to turn us back in. Am I telling the truth, black family? Am I telling the truth, black family? Am I telling the truth? Did our elder, Dr. Claude Anderson, the great historian, this black man who ran campaigns on on the national level and on the state level and local level, our brother who has inside knowledge of this white supremacist system, did he not tell us that? I'm just trying to get it clear. Michael said, I'll try to get in contact with the Bidens and send them your message. Thank you, beloved. It ain't just about it ain't Vicki. It's about what I'm trying to let them know. Cut the check for us. Joe, we're not playing with you. The reason why Joe Biden is even throwing out the word reparations because his people are scared. Why are his people scared? Because I read a Politico article some days ago. I hadn't shared that show with you yet. Stay tuned. I might still do it here. Where guess what? They're saying that Joe Biden's internal polling is showing that young blacks, even though they came out to lift our voice during Holy Week uprising and we're still going strong, how that's not a guarantee that they're going to come out to vote for him. We've been telling them what to do for the longest. We've been saying cut the check. It's been very clear, but they've done everything that they can to avoid doing what we told you to do. Joe Biden came up with what? Lift every voice. He said that's his black agenda. The problem, Jim Crow Joe, and all of the rest of you funny looking politicians. The problem with lift every voice, your so-called black agenda, is not only when you read, was it 22 pages? 20 some odd pages, I believe it is. It's been a minute. I need to go back to it. Listen, the problem with your lift every voice black agenda is it apparently includes other people groups in it too. But more importantly, it's you telling us the agenda. When we're telling you the agenda, when we say cut the check, it is what it is or it's nothing at all. Who do you think you are? I almost said a Mississippi word. And that ain't no cuss word, but to white supremacists, it's like one. It's got the word wood in it. Listen. Jim Crow Joe, you who you talking to? Black family, let me tell you something. You do not allow them to tell them what they gonna do for us. We tell you what to do. Hard head. Stop playing. I see you putting that word in there. Was it Sandra? Whoever that was, the thing going too fast. We tell you. You don't tell us what your little raggedy black agenda is. And that's the problem with some of your bootlick black folks that's out there that's just throwing out there talk about black agenda, but they're not giving any substantive and tangible parameters for what that black agenda is. I don't know about y'all. I grew up in the South. My mother and my maternal grandparents raised us for most of my years. And they used to tell us stuff like this. Didn't I tell you? Come on. It's your sister, the lady with the curly braids, talking to you today. They was tell us, didn't I tell you? Did any of y'all parents, when there was real parents out there, did any of your parents ever tell you, I'm telling you what to do? Didn't I tell you? Did your mamas and daddies and grandmamas and stuff tell you and granddaddies tell you, didn't I tell you? Jim Crow Joe, you ain't dictating nothing to us with your funny looking self. We're telling you. So Joe Biden knows we're not going for that lift every voice. The title alone is a turnoff for us. Lift every voice means cotton. What images are evoked in your mind when you hear lift every voice? Don't you smell outside? Don't you sense chitlins? Somebody talk black to me. When you hear lift every voice, voice, baby. See, you trying to play. Joe Biden is letting us know exactly where he is in time. He still thinks he's in time. Well, they running black folk like that still. It's a new day. It's a new season. We tell you what to do. I know white folks is shaking because they're not used to black folks telling them what to do. And a part of the rage, the national rage that you're seeing with black folks is when they see us out there being forceful. It's an affront to them. They get big mad because they're used to telling you what to do, slave. But Vicki is here to do the work, the Lord's work. I'm here to cast out your inner slave. I'm here to let you know that you move as a free thinking and as a free thinking black man and a black woman. You are free people. You're made by God. You're the mothers and fathers of civilization. They're the newest people on the planet. These strangers and foreigners that's done nothing but lie, steal, kill, and destroy stuff. This is our planet. Y'all know that's our daily decoration for the Vicki Show about now. 2,000 plus of you in the chat. Welcome to the Vicki Show. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Somebody say, this is our planet. You don't tell us what to do. The world was in dysfunction. The world was malfunctioning when y'all was having us enslaved, convict leasing, sharecropping, benign neglect policies, Jim Crow, new Jim Crow, prison industrial complex, redlining, gentrification, regentrifying areas, gerrymandering, poisoning us, warehousing us in prisons, discriminating against us with your banks and so forth. This is our planet. And that's the reason why your day, your rule is getting ready to be over. Y'all sense that. What does the scripture say in Revelation, family? It says that the devil, we know who the real devil is now. The devil knows his time is short. So it says in Revelation, the book of Revelation, that he was going to the earth to do what? To wreak havoc. Their death rates are increasing and their birth rates naturally, they're decreasing. Somebody talk black to me. And while you ruled, and as you rule today, Donald Trump, as you rule today, white folks all over the world is in shambles. Which is why you guys, that's why your world, your rule is over. It's coming to an end. And that's why they're enraged, black family. The world was malfunctioning while they were telling us what to do, while they were ruling over our lives. And that's the reason why some of your bootlicks that can't wait to work with them and work in their White Houses and come on their television shows, they're still operating as a walking malfunction. The world is out of order. But baby, we getting ready to get it back on order. We rule ourselves. And Joe Biden, you can take that, lift every voice, and you can shove that. You can use that when you out there with them burning the crosses with the Ku Klux Klan. You can use that to help with that fire. Take that, lift every voice, and use that out there for that. We're telling you, you don't dictate to us our black agenda, fool. It's a new day. Lift every voice. All I smell is chitlins. It's chitlins and cotton. Cotton and chitlins and chitlins and cotton. And chitlins. And chitlins. And outside. And hot. Your funny looking self. So I mentioned that because Politico, the writer just did an article talking about how Joe Biden's internal polling is showing black likely disaffection, or black folks rather not willing, young black folks specifically, that may not come out. So that's the reason why Joe Biden gonna throw out the word reparations, but a study. And then in the little raggedy study for reparations, he's talking about the other day at this Washington Times piece, I believe it's called Washington Times, he gonna put in there Native Americans. Boy, you better go sit your funny looking self down. You see how they want to restrict us? I can't stand being around people that want to keep me in a box. Somebody talk black to me. When somebody senses your rise, you can be raggedy. They can call you out your name. They can say that you broke. They can talk about you being sick. They can call you a felon. They can call you weird and strange and cuss you out. They can wish your death. But if they feel like that you're going to make an impact, how they try to constrain and restrict you and to stop you from being all that you can be, baby. Black family, say this with me. Wherever you are, if your family is watching, your children is watching, if you in the salon with your mask and stuff on, if you at the store socially distancing, say with me right now as a mantra, we shatter glass ceilings. Lord have mercy. We shift atmospheres. We change climates. We're world shakers and history makers. You got this thing twisted. And we're in this for the long haul, family. Right now, we have a lot of momentum and a lot of eyes on us because of Holy Week uprising. But you got to make up in your mind that when stuff is not popping off in the same way, which it always is, it just doesn't have the media attention. You say, I'm going to stay connected to black media. I'm going to still do the right thing. I'm still going to support my people. I'm still going to continuously build because this is a lifestyle. You're not just worried about you and your day and your forward no more. You're worried about the next generation and you're willing to pay the price. You understand that this is the so-called civil rights movement of our time. You understand that when the books are written, they're not going to be just talking about Dr. King and Malcolm X, the Honorable Elisha Muhammad, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer, and others. What will they say about us today? You're a history maker. You're a world shaker. After all, this is our planet. But we look like asking the newest people on the planet. Somebody talk black to me. We've been here for trillions of years. I said with a T. Some of you, that scares you when somebody said it. If it's going to help you, I'm going to say millions and billions. Some of you that believes the limited revelation of your white supremacist open enemy with the scriptures that the planet is only 6,000 years of age, you don't understand what you're reading. The 6,000 year has to do with the newest people on the planet. They're only 6 days old. There's a new Sabbath coming. They're getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to leave that alone. I ain't going to go metaphysical on you like I did yesterday. It's our planet. And we're taking it back. But the world we're building is going to be based on freedom, justice, and equality. And of that kingdom, there shall be no end. Y'all play too much. That kingdom will never be shaken. Because these strangers to our planet, God today, I said these strangers, these unidentified flying objects and stuff, it's getting ready to go. From the high places. About 2 of y'all gonna still be here for a weekend probably. And the weekenders are those that submit and do what we tell you to do. White folks, y'all know that if you had any sense, you would love the Vicki show. You need to be blowing up, trying to support us and what we're doing. Because I'm giving you the clue to you staying on the planet for another weekend. Obey, submit. Don't run from what I'm saying. The more you run from the hard thing, the more you run from being uncomfortable, the shorter your days are going to be. Honor your mother and father. Why do you do that, family? Honor your mother and father. Why? What is that promise? What does the promise say? Honor your mother and father so that you're what? So that you're what? So that your days can be long on the earth. The more injustice that white folks do to us, the quicker. Do y'all know that their demographers and their statisticians and all of their scholars and so forth said that they were going to be dying off, and they were expected, the trajectory of where they were going was really more like 30, 40, 50 years out, but it's speeding up now. The more injustice you do to us, like natural stuff. Y'all seeing all this white on white crime. Somebody put W on W, because I don't know if they're gonna let you put white on white crime. Put W on W. All this white on white crime. Do you guys understand that one of the ways that we win is not just about us defending ourselves against them? It's the fact that the system will turn in on itself and they will start fighting themselves. Y'all play too much. That's a spiritual principle when a world is operating on injustice. Because see, you don't have to understand, you don't understand that the universe, the multiverse, and of course our planet is just one part of the universe. It's built on truth. It's built right. We come from the stuff of the universe. So your behavior, your action is not separate from what's happening in creation. It's in direct connection to it. That's a part of the genius of Black folks. That's a part of our secret. That's a part of our advantage and our edge. When we know who we are, we get to access. The planet helps us. Oh my God. Does the book of Revelation also say, what does it say? When the scripture talks, when it talks about how the devil knows that his time is short. Watch this. Thumbs up, family. Like and share, every single one of you, all 2,000 of you. Shout out to you, Francine, for your gift, your $50 gift. You said, Holy Uprising, 100. I know that's right. Somebody say, Holy Uprising. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Every one of you, hit that subscribe button on the count of 3, and then I want you to thumbs up. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure that you like and that you share. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. I'm pulling this up. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. I know it's Revelations 12. Watch this. Let me get to it, though. The specific part that I'm going to. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I don't play with the people on Twitter. Y'all crazy on Twitter, and I'm not playing with y'all on Twitter. But follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. And then you can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel at VickiDillard.tv. That's VickiDillard.tv. VickiDillard.tv. Where is this at? Watch this. Watch this. VickiDillard.tv. Subscribe there, y'all. Don't forget, okay? When the scripture in Revelation talks about this, because they got y'all scared of the book of Revelation, and when things of eschatology, meaning things of end times, when they start to talk about prophecy, when they talk about the end of the world, it's the end of their world. God, today. And Black folks, you scared with your so-called white brothers and sisters in Christ. They're scared for a reason. Shut up. Don't take on that energy, baby. That ain't it. That ain't even how it's working like that. That's not even how ours is finna go down unless you decide to keep being a coon. If you keep being a collaborator with them, you're going to go down with them. Watch this. Revelation 12 says about how the serpent, verse 15, the serpent, however, spewed a torrent of water out of his mouth after the woman to sweep her away with the current. The woman, again, remember I told you scripture speaks in algorithms. It speaks in code. Listen, or symbolism. Watch this. The earth helped the woman meaning God's chosen people. That's you, Black family. I've already broke that down to you yesterday. If you missed yesterday's show, make sure that you watch yesterday's show. I don't care what show I do. Just watch it. Make sure that you catch up on a binge, watch the shows. It's also a coon rehab. Just let me scream and holler at you. Just do back-to-back Vicki shows. And I'm telling you, you're going to poop it out. You're going to sweat it out. You're going to get the shakes out. You're going to vomit it out. All of that inner slave, all of that inner coon, it's going to be released. You're going to be one of the last of the Mammy Mohicans. It's going to be over for you. Talk Black to me. Watch this. Listen. It says, but the code here is the woman is us. The woman is us in this particular context in terms of Revelation. Listen. But the earth helped the woman and opened its mouth and swallowed the flood that the dragon spewed out. Watch this. Let me read verse 15 again. I'm scared that you might have missed that. The serpent, however, spewed a torrent of water out of his mouth after after the woman. They're trying to drown out the woman. They're trying to attack the woman, the serpent, right? But the earth, that's what I want you to see. The earth did what? The earth, verse 16 says, the earth helped the woman. She said, D says, move in my spirit tonight. Thank you for your gift and your kind words. It says the earth helped the woman and opened its mouth and swallowed the flood that the dragon spewed out of his mouth. Black family, the weapons that we have at our disposal when we come to divine revelation, when we unify, and when we start to act like that this is our plan, and when we start to take charge of our life again, when we start making just and righteous demands, when we start to be intelligent and strategic together, another one of the many weapons that we have at our disposal is that the earth itself helps the woman. Tiny said deep with about 20 or 30 P's. Did y'all hear what I said? We have help from another realm because this is our planet. And the planet will do things it's never done before when you start doing things you've never done before. Oh my God. Ooh, that's a good word, Vicki. You got to go. The planet, things around you, your environment, God, today, things will start to shift and do things in your favor when you start doing things differently. Somebody talk black to me. When you start acting differently, when you start engaging this beast differently, when you start to do for self, let me say this and I'm out of here. What did I say? I told you I was going to give you 2 reasons why business is warfare. Again, don't forget to start your side hustle in your business, which is important because that's central to the message that we're talking about when I'm talking about Mahmoud Abu Mayale, the owner of that store. And not only him, but others like them that are bloodsuckers of the poor, that disrespect you. Why is business warfare? Number one, what did I say? I said it was the reason you were brought here in the first place. Thank you, Kamala, for your gifts. Carmelita. She says, well, let me give my blessing before you go. Thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Don't go nowhere just yet. Give me one more minute, couple more minutes. Y'all know what that means in Mississippi dictionary terms. Listen. Why is business warfare? Because it was the reason you were brought here in the first place, black family. You can't avoid that war. The reason why they keep denying your loans, y'all play too much. The reasons why they bombed Oklahoma and many of our other towns. The reason why they destroyed so many of our businesses is because business is warfare. Y'all hear me today? Did you all hear what I just said? Number 2, the reason why business is warfare. Business is clearly warfare because of white supremacist economic advantage. That's how they're able to continue to dominate us, because of economics. Business is warfare because it was why we were brought here in the first place. Business is warfare is because it is the main means by which white supremacy continuously dominates. Nathan, I love you back. Vicki, Jamaica loves you. I love Jamaica back. I love Jamaica back. You're not the only one. I've heard from other my Jamaican family there as well. Shout out to the Caribbean in general, but specifically Jamaica. Thank you. Listen. And so, black family, because you know that business is warfare, can I just say something just a little bit revolutionary? You've heard it before, but let me just say it for you, just to bless you today. Let's go to war then. Oh my God, somebody talk back to me. Since business, I'm talking about the context of business. Since business is warfare, Lord have mercy. Since business is warfare, can we just go to war then, family? Let's go to war. Since business is warfare, but let's learn a lesson from the many Black businesses that were destroyed before us. Watch this. Watch this. How many of you all know that this is a good time for me to tell you this really quick? How many of you all know that Donald Trump is getting ready to do a rally? How many of y'all been hearing about this in the news? Where is Donald Trump getting ready to do his rally, and what day is he going to do it on? Tell me, Black family, while I pull up this article. Black family, Donald Trump, Black family, Donald Trump is getting ready to do. Okay, y'all already got the answer. I see you. 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 How many of you all remember the Oklahoma story that I did about 6 months or so ago? I just retweeted it the other day. I think, yeah, on Twitter the other day. Make sure that you watch a podcast that I did on Oklahoma about 6 months ago. All you got to do is pull up Vicki Dillard in Tulsa and it should come up. Watch this. I'm pulling up this Washington Post article that was written a couple of year and a half, 2 years ago, almost. Not quite. But I wanted to remind you of just a few things as it relates to Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, business is warfare. Watch this. This is another element of business. I talked to you specifically about one element of business is warfare as it relates to what? Our brother George Foreman and that cup store. Is that right, family? And how they engage us with police and their relationship with the police and the fact that we sustain them and we cause generations of their families to be blessed and to experience the American dream based on the American, our Black nightmare, right, family? But Donald Trump is doing what, y'all? What is this white supremacist doing? He's going to Oklahoma, the place of one of the most well-known massacres. It's not because we love to say it was the worst massacre. Wait a minute. Y'all murdered too many of us since we've been here. So it can't be just 100% the worst. But I'm sure in terms of en masse at that moment in time in America, I understand why they say that at that time. So Oklahoma, one of the most well-known massacres by jealous white America. Somebody say jealous white America. I'm giving you another example of why business is warfare and what we can learn from this. Shout out to you, D, for your gift. Listen. This quick article, I just want to remind you of some of the details of Black Wall Street. Of course, in Tulsa, it was one of the worst episodes, as is known, of racial violence in U.S. history. It says it still haunts the city with unresolved questions, even as Black Wall Street gentrifies. See, that's the other issue that they're dealing right now in Wall Street. They're dealing with gentrification. Gentrification is just a snazzy word for white folks stealing and taking over our neighborhoods. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Let me just remind you. I'm not going to even get into details of the article, all of it, but I want to just remind you of a few points. For decades, few talked about what happened in this city when a white mob descended on Greenwood Avenue, a Black business district. Somebody say a Black business district. Somebody say a Black business district. That's why I don't have no love for funny looking Black folks who claim to be pro-Black, but they disrespect other Black folks who believe in business and who do commerce. When you find another Black person that's tripping about another Black person living in a decent home and having a thriving business, look at them like something is wrong with them. Get away from those slaves or those agents. People can be an agent whether they know it or not. They can be a useful tool, let me put it that way, for white supremacy, whether they know it or not. So this Black business district was so prosperous They descended on Greenwood Avenue. A black business district was so prosperous, it was dubbed the Negro Wall Street by Booker T. Washington. For 2 days, beginning May 31st, 1921, the mob set fire to hundreds of black-owned businesses and homes in Greenwood. Somebody say hundreds of black businesses. Hundreds of black businesses. Shout out to you, lady. More than 300 people were killed. More than 10,000 black people were left homeless. And 40 blocks were left smoldering. Survivors recounted black bodies loaded on trains and dumped off bridges into the Arkansas River and most frequently tossed into mass graves. Somebody say, business is warfare. Thank you for always finding the strength to continuously share. Thank you, Queen, for your gift and your kind words. It's my privilege and honor. Listen. Look at this picture. This is a man with a camera who looks at iron bed frames rising above the ashes of a burned out block in Tulsa. It's in black and white. This one is the national troops escort unarmed African-American men after the massacre. How did this whole thing get started in the first place, family? A Becky lied. A Becky was projecting. She was acting like this black man touched her inappropriately. She wanted him to probably get with her because they predators. There's a lot of white female predators out there. She was wanting him to get with her. She was hoping and praying he was touching her. The reason why she got him in trouble probably because he didn't touch her funny looking self. Her dream didn't come true. Watch this. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Again, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm here weekdays right here on FlyNewBeQueenTV.com. Normally, I'm here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes I go a little early, like at 3 or 3:30 Eastern time. So don't miss the Vicki show, okay? It's my honor and privilege to be before you and to come before my people. If you're watching me on one of our other platforms where my show is broadcast, please make sure that you like, that you follow, and that you comment. Listen, watch this. It goes on talking about the mass graves and so forth. That's my other show that I did 6 months ago. Make sure that you watch that podcast, family. From 6 or 7 months ago, I did that show. Watch this. It says they're dealing with gentrification, even now. Talking about how almost 2/3 of the neighborhood's residents are African American. The gentrification has resurfaced tensions between the present and the past. I'm skipping through that. I ain't got time to even work that. This is the part that I want you to hear. And I don't want you to forget. Watch this. After the shots were fired, blah, 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 blah. Hundreds of white people marched on Greenwood in a murderous rage. Quote, they tried to kill all the black folks they could see. Let me read that again. They tried to kill all the black folks they could see, a survivor, George Monroe, recalled in the 1999 documentary, The Night Tulsa Burned. There were reports that white men flew at y'all. This is what I want you to hear. And then you tell me if the devil is invisible and if the devil is under the ground. When I say devil, I'm using it as a phrase to discuss an opponent. There were reports that white men flew airplanes. Y'all, we're talking about, y'all play too much, Vicki Reed. We're talking about 1921, y'all. There were reports 99 years ago. There were reports that white men flew airplanes above Greenwood, dropping kerosene bombs. Tulsa, I'm quoting now, quote, Tulsa was likely the first city in the United States to be bombed from the air, according to a 2001 report by the Oklahoma Commission to Study the Tulsa Race Riot of 1921. What? I've talked about it before, but I wanted to remind some of you that may or may not have heard it before, and I want you to keep this at the forefront of your mind. Business is warfare. Reports of white men who flew airplanes above Greenwood dropping kerosene bombs. Tulsa was likely the first city in the United States to be bombed from the air, according to a 2001 report by the Oklahoma Commission to Study the Tulsa Race Riot 1921. Vicki, why are you telling us about this business as warfare? Number one, this is the reason we so push start businesses. Number two, when you start your business, and Black family, when we start to literally take over whole swaths of land and neighborhoods, you can expect the powers that shouldn't be, whose time is up, they're going to try to come against you. What does that mean? The difference this time, I hope, brothers especially, that our Black military, our Black law enforcement, oh my God, is going to be properly positioned this time to defend us and our stuff. I've got a little LLC. That's why I love collaborating with the Black networks that I collaborate with. It's not about whether Vicki is a multimillionaire. It's about the fact it's my own. And there are some blessings, freedoms that we get with our own. Those are two things I want you to keep in mind why you must continue to not only build Black businesses, start Black businesses, but also support Black businesses. And also, as we are building our new world, as we are building the new Black reality, they're not going to just be able to come in there, baby, and not have to first go through a watchman on the wall. Somebody talk Black to me. We're going to have guardrails in place. Somebody talk Black to me. When you do business, that is an act of war. You know why? Because that automatically means, number one, you're not going to constantly have your resources, more and more of your resources. That's less and less of your resources that's going to be going to your enemy. That's number one. And number two, we know they're moved by jealousy. So just like our sister Carol, Dr. Carol Anderson, I believe Dr. Carol, yes, Professor Carol Anderson in her book, White Rage. Remember, she talked about in her book, White Rage, that the reason why a lot of white folks get, they're activated in terms of their rage is whenever they sense Black progress or Black advancement. But we got a doghouse for you. We know what to do with people from the outside now. Did y'all hear what I just said? I'm just trying to let you know that business was involved in some way as it relates to the death and the murder of our brother. And they had relationships, deep relationships with law enforcement. And you better not believe, just because in this particular instance, because the owners are now feeling a little guilty, that there were not certain mindsets, certain protocols and procedures, and who knows what may come later. I wish some of you all who are in that area, the Minneapolis area, on that Chicago Avenue area, I believe that was the street name or something. I don't remember. If you were in that area, y'all let us know in my comment section on my Instagram page at Vicki X Dillard under my post for today's show. Let me know if you're in that area, if you know anything about Cup Foods, and if you want to give us some information about Cup Foods. Somebody talk Black to me. But this Palestinian who came to America after fleeing military occupation, discrimination, land seizure, economic deprivation, but you come and participate in the white supremacy system here. Y'all better talk Black to me. We're calling you out. There's more that I can say, but I told y'all a long time ago I was supposed to go. Y'all bless me so much. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Will you meet me here tomorrow? I may go a little early for tomorrow, for Friday, family. So just stay tuned, okay? Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, and make sure you subscribe to VickiDillard.tv. More importantly, to business. Business owners can help you do that at theblackbusinessschool.com, at flynubianbusiness.com. Somebody put it in the chat for me. That's an act of war. We know we're in a white supremacy system. Some of you all that got cars and this kind of stuff, you know you ain't getting all your gas from a black gas station. I still got to get certain things from a white store. Don't get it crazy. But it's the fact that I still take a portion of my income to support Black nation and Black business building. Somebody talk Black to me. And it's one of the reasons I'm grateful to be on this platform, because it allows me to be a budding business owner. That's a blessing for me. You can call me broke and all them other names, and some of the haters out there call a child. You can't tell me nothing. I feel empowered. And watch this. I'm just getting started. But it's about purpose. And I want you to be empowered. I love you to pieces. Every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you like. Don't miss the show tomorrow, God willing, okay? Again, I'm going to look for you on Twitter at Dillard Vicki and on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Ma'at hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved.